Hi there. Real quick before we jump into the episode. If you enjoy this episode, or any of the other episodes, be sure to give us a follow or subscribe. It would also be great if you shared it with a friend, or better yet, left a review so others can know how awesome it is. Thanks so much. And now, the episode.
Hey there, Press Starters, and welcome to the Press Start Leadership Podcast, the podcast about game-changing leadership, teaching you how to get the most out of your product and development team and become the leader you were meant to be. Leadership coaching and training for the international game industry professional. Now, let me introduce you to your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Christopher Mifsud.
Hey there, Press Starters, and welcome back to another awesome edition of the Press Start Leadership Podcast. On today's episode, we'll be discussing staying positive and staying grounded as a leader in game development. Learn how game industry leaders can inspire their teams with authentic enthusiasm while staying grounded in production constraints and studio realities. Leading with energy without losing your grip on reality. One of the most valuable lessons I have learned as a leader in the video game industry is that optimism and enthusiasm are powerful forces. They can lift a team through crunch, motivate people through uncertainty, and spark creativity when energy is low. I've always been naturally enthusiastic, and when I step into a new leadership role or lead a new project, I bring a lot of excitement with me. I love games, I love building teams, and I love the creative process even when it gets messy. But here is the truth that every game industry leader eventually learns. Optimism without realism is a recipe for burnout, disappointment, and broken trust. Reality always shows up. Budgets tighten, timelines shift, teams get tired, publishers change priorities, platforms update requirements, and creative ambitions collide with practical limitations. The best leaders are the ones who learn how to balance these forces. They carry optimism like a torch that lights the road ahead, but they also keep their feet on the ground. They inspire without misleading. They motivate without denying risks. They keep teams excited but never unprepared. Balancing enthusiasm with realism is not easy, especially in an industry that thrives on passion, experimentation, and big visions. It took me years to find a balance that worked. Even now, I revisit this balance constantly, because every studio, team, and project has different needs. In this podcast, I will share how I learned to balance optimism with reality. I will explore how leaders can energize their teams while guiding them responsibly through the complexities of game development. I will break down the dangers of leaning too far in either direction and share actionable steps to find your equilibrium. Let us start with the reason optimism matters so much. The role of optimism in creative leadership. Optimism is the fuel of the video game industry. No game gets made without vision, ambition, and belief. Every project begins with the hope that something special can be created, something players will love, something meaningful. Optimism keeps teams pushing forward when challenges appear. It helps people stay excited about the work even when the road ahead is unclear. In my experience, enthusiasm from leadership is contagious. When I'm excited about a project, the team feels it. When I speak about the vision with energy and conviction, others start to believe in it too. Optimism is not just about cheerleading. It is about sharing a sense of purpose and possibility. Why optimism is essential in the game industry. It inspires creativity. Creative minds thrive when they feel supported and encouraged. It builds resilience. Teams push through difficult phases when they feel the journey is worth it. It boosts morale. Positive energy lifts people during stressful cycles. It keeps the team aligned. Enthusiasm reinforces the shared mission behind the work. It helps people see solutions instead of problems. Optimism unlocks better decision-making. Optimism creates momentum. It helps teams move from uncertainty to clarity, from hesitation to action. The danger of optimistic leadership without grounding. Optimism becomes harmful when it creates unrealistic expectations. Leaders in the game industry sometimes make promises based on hope instead of data. They underestimate timelines, overestimate team capacity, and overlook technical risks. They may also unintentionally silence concerns by sounding overly positive. Too much optimism can lead to scope creep, production delays, team burnout, misalignment with publishers, financial strain, broken trust. Optimism must be paired with responsibility. Otherwise, it becomes negligence wrapped in positivity. Actionable steps for expressing healthy optimism. State your excitement honestly. Do not fake enthusiasm, but share it when you feel it. Anchor optimism in facts. Pair positive statements with evidence or recent wins. Invite questions. Encourage the team to challenge assumptions. Be optimistic about effort, not outcomes. Celebrate the process, not just the finished product. Set realistic expectations while remaining supportive. Optimism and honesty can coexist. Optimism is powerful when it comes from a place of clarity and sincerity. The importance of grounded realism. Realism is not negativity. Realism is leadership. It means seeing the truth as it is, not as we wish it to be. It is about understanding limitations, risks, and constraints while still finding a path forward. Whenever I lead a team, I see it as my responsibility to understand the full picture. That means asking hard questions, reviewing data, understanding resource limits, and acknowledging what is possible within the time and budget we have. Teams rely on leaders to be honest about reality so they can do their best work. Why realism matters in the game industry. The game industry is full of challenges. Technical unknowns, shifting timelines, unexpected bugs, changing publisher requirements, content bottlenecks, engine limitations, market pressures. Realism keeps leaders and teams safe from making decisions based on wishful thinking. It protects morale by preventing impossible expectations. It protects production by acknowledging risks before they become emergencies. Realism builds trust, not fear. Teams appreciate leaders who are honest about what is achievable. Transparency builds confidence. Even difficult truths, when delivered respectfully, make people feel included and prepared rather than blindsided. Actionable steps for practicing realism. Communicate constraints early. Hidden limitations lead to frustration and confusion. Use data for decision-making. Track burnout indicators, production velocity, bug counts, and workload. Evaluate risks openly. Encourage departments to share concerns. Avoid overcommitting. Protect your team from promises made in excitement. Be honest about what cannot be done. Protect morale by keeping expectations grounded. Realism does not kill enthusiasm. It makes it sustainable. Avoiding the extremes. Overoptimism versus overcaution. Every leader tends to lean toward one side. Some leaders are naturally optimistic, energized, and inspiring. Others are naturally cautious, analytical, and careful. Neither style is wrong. The problem appears when leaders fall too far toward an extreme. Overoptimism. Overly optimistic leaders promise too much, ignore red flags, underestimate timelines, push for impossible milestones, dismiss concerns as negativity, stretch teams too thin, damage credibility through repeated optimism failures. I've made these mistakes early in my career. I thought motivating people meant always sounding positive. I thought expressing doubt would make me look weak. But I learned that when optimism becomes unrealistic, teams stop listening. Overcaution. Overly cautious leaders say no too quickly, avoid creative risks, dampen enthusiasm, slow innovation, overemphasize potential issues, create an environment of fear or hesitation. I've also worked with leaders who were too grounded. They were so cautious the team felt discouraged from trying new ideas. Creativity died under the weight of constant skepticism. Healthy leadership lives in the middle. Leaders who balance optimism and realism, inspire without misleading, acknowledge risks without discouraging, create a hopeful vision grounded in truth, encourage ideas while guiding feasibility, push teams to grow without burning them out. Actionable steps to avoid extremes. Check your bias weekly. Ask yourself, am I leaning too far toward optimism or caution right now? Ask your team for honest feedback. They will tell you when your tone is off balance. Reflect on the last 3 major decisions. Were they driven by hope or data? Pair every optimistic statement with a practical constraint. This builds balance clarity. Pair every cautionary statement with a possibility. This prevents negativity. Balance is not a fixed point. It is a practice. Balancing big vision with practical execution. Every game project begins with a vision. Something ambitious, something exciting, something worth building. Leaders must champion that vision while also guiding teams through the step-by-step process of making it real. This balance is often the hardest part of leadership. Vision creates excitement. The big picture gives meaning to the work. It shows the team why their efforts matter. It paints the dream of what the game could become. Enthusiasm for the vision helps teams stay motivated through the grind. Execution requires discipline. The day-to-day work requires planning, prioritizing, problem-solving, and constant reality checks. Execution means saying no as much as saying yes. It means balancing expectations with resources. The best leaders connect the two. They keep the dream alive while guiding the team through achievable steps. Actionable steps for balancing vision and execution. Break big goals into incremental tasks. The team should always know the next achievable step. Use the phrase optimistic vision, realistic plan. This helps frame expectations. Let the vision inspire, not overwhelm. Big ideas should excite, not intimidate. Create visible progress tracking. Show how every small step feeds into the larger vision. Revisit the vision regularly. Keep it alive but grounded in updated circumstances. Vision energizes, execution directs, leaders integrate both. Communication strategies for realistic positivity. Communication is where optimism and realism meet. It is where the balance becomes visible to the team. The way a leader communicates can completely change how a message is received. What balanced communication looks like. A balanced leader shares positive energy without ignoring difficulties, acknowledges challenges without creating panic, speaks with clarity rather than vague enthusiasm, provides context rather than empty excitement, listens with empathy and responds honestly. Teams feel safe when leaders speak with both positivity and truth. How communication goes wrong. Leaders go wrong when they overhype early progress, hide bad news, dismiss concerns, deliver difficult news without empathy, frame optimism as certainty instead of possibility. Communication is leadership. It is how you maintain trust, morale, and alignment. Actionable steps for balanced leadership communication. Frame success with honesty. Celebrate wins without exaggerating them. Deliver bad news calmly and clearly. Explain the plan forward, not just the problem. Invite reactions. Encourage your team to share concerns or ask questions. Use, here's what we know, and here's what we do not know yet. Uncertainty is normal. Avoid absolute language. Never say something will be easy or guaranteed. Balanced communication creates clarity, comfort, and unity. Leading by example. Staying positive while staying honest. Leaders set the emotional tone for the room. Teams watch how leaders react to setbacks, how they talk about challenges, and how they carry themselves during stressful times. Your demeanor communicates more than your words. Staying positive without pretending. Positive does not mean pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging difficulties while choosing to focus on solutions. It means modeling resilience. It means showing the team that challenges can be handled thoughtfully. Honesty without discouragement. Honesty does not mean being blunt or pessimistic. It means communicating truth in a way that preserves dignity and encourages action. Leaders who are honest gain trust. Leaders who are honest and hopeful gain loyalty. Actionable steps to model the right balance. Create a daily grounding ritual. Spend 5 minutes centering yourself before the workday. Use weekly reflection. Ask yourself how your tone influenced the team during the week. Keep a personal balance checklist. Review your optimism and realism habits every Friday. Practice emotional regulation. Respond rather than react during stressful moments. Stay curious. Seek input rather than pretending you have all the answers. The team learns balance by watching you practice it. Final thoughts. The leadership dance between hope and honesty. Balancing optimism and realism is one of the most important and most challenging responsibilities of a leader in the video game industry. This industry thrives on passion, creativity, and enthusiasm, but it also demands discipline, clarity, and grounded decision-making. As leaders, our job is to inspire without misleading, support without enabling, and guide without limiting. Optimism gives people reason to push forward. Realism helps them push in the right direction. When you strive the right balance, teams feel motivated, not pressured. Goals feel ambitious, not impossible. Challenges feel manageable, not frightening. Leadership feels steady, not erratic. Balanced leaders build trust. Balanced leaders build strong teams. Balanced leaders ship games that reflect both creativity and thoughtful execution. Carry hope in your heart and truth in your hands. Lead with passion, but steer with clarity. Bring enthusiasm into the room, but let reality guide your decisions. This balance is not a destination. It is a daily practice. And when you master it, your team will follow you wherever the vision leads. All right, and that's this week's episode of the Press Start Leadership Podcast. Thanks for listening, and as always, thanks for being awesome.
Oh, hi. Man, the episode's over, but thanks for sticking around till the end. Be sure to check out more episodes in the playlist and new episodes every week on Monday. Follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Don't forget to leave a review. Thanks again for being awesome.